Carbon markets have become really a central tool that policymakers are using to achieve their climate goals and the goals of the Paris Agreement. So nearly 20% of greenhouse gas emissions are now covered by some form of a carbon market. And when we've seen carbon markets, so carbon pricing systems, usually they're implemented through cap and trade systems, sometimes referred to as ETS or emissions trading systems. When they're implemented, they tend to become the cornerstone of the policy response to climate change. And so we've seen this throughout the world. The four biggest ones are, the biggest one by far is the European emissions trading system. Then we have California, cap and trade program. We have the UK system, which came out of Europe with Brexit. And then we have, in the Northeast of the United States, we have the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative. So those are the biggest compliance carbon markets. But we're seeing the idea of carbon pricing grow across the world. Korea has had a long-standing market, New Zealand, and most recently China, which is the largest emitter in the world now, and could be the largest market, is beginning the processes of implementing their carbon market. So pricing carbon through a carbon market, or sometimes through a tax, but typically through a carbon market, it's not a silver bullet to climate change, but it is perhaps the most potent tool, policy lever that we have to achieve our climate objectives. To achieve our climate targets, we need the participation of investors, and that's both private investors in projects in the built environment and infrastructure to decarbonize the economy, but we also need financial investors and the capital markets to move to climate positive investments. And so investors can participate in carbon markets by investing in ETFs, for example, that support the functioning of those markets. So in the four markets that I was talking about previously, there's an opportunity for investors to get involved in either purchasing allowances or investing in carbon offsets. And that does a few things. That increases the liquidity of the markets, improves the maturity of the function of the markets. It also builds a constituency, importantly, builds a constituency that supports those markets, constituency of investors, and a capital market environment that is crucial for those markets to thrive and expand and be resilient into the future. So events are crucial to galvanize and gather market actors together so that we can obviously meet each other and have honest dialogue, learn from each other, but also they provide important milestones for us to be able to focus our goals and our objectives so that we have places to announce things. We have forcing mechanisms to say, listen, we have to get X done by the Sustainable Investment Forum. Here in New York, at New York Climate Week, COP will be in another important moment. And those are really galvanizing moments that we can focus targets, announcements, and of course, meet each other and come together in community.